In South Africa, something that many people forget, especially now with the onslaught of the United States against South Africa, which in fact can be traced to Reagan thinking now is possessing Donald Trump, you know, where he's trying to paint a dark picture, you know, about South Africa. We need to remind South Africans who might be tempted to follow the ways of the oppressor, because the book of Proverbs warns us, you know, about on the issue of desiring, you know, to be like the oppressor, you know. There is a big danger that South Africa do, and they tend to forget their history. Very, very important. Job 8 tells us that, you know, we should stand at the crossroad and look for the ancient path, and there we are going to learn wisdom. So that means our history is very important, very, very important. So we need to know, you know, black South Africa, colored South Africans need to know that in South Africa there was never freedom under a white government. There's never been freedom for blacks and coloreds in South Africa under a white government. We have never experienced that. If you still remember that in 1910 there was the formation of the Union. We spoke about this in our previous videos, where these guys created, you know, these four republics, you know, two republics, and the Free State and the Transvaal, and then they also created the Natal and the Cape Colony. So, and within this type of rule, for blacks there was no freedom. They struggled with voting rights. They struggled for economic independence. They struggled for land. They struggled in every way. They were deeply oppressed. Even prior to the formation of the Union in 1910, prior to that, you know, there were certain places that the white minority ruled. And in those places where the white minority, such as places where people such as Cecil Rhodes, you know, in the Western Cape, where he started making, you know, moves, his political moves, and was friendly, even though he hated the Afrikaner, but they were all united. Even in their war, they were all united against the natives, against blacks and coloreds. They never wanted us to be fully freed in our land, and they did this in various ways, in the churches, in political, economic, and all kinds of, you know, areas of people activity. So they didn't care, and that did not even bother them. Even the liberals were racist towards black. They were just paternalistic. Oh, you need to treat these people nicely, but it's not like they are equal to us, you know. So that's the type of treatment that our ancestors had to deal with. Since if we can say, you know, officially, you know, where the Union was formed in 1910, where white people completely established their dominion of the entire region, which we now call South Africa. Since from that time up until 1994, black people have never really experienced real freedom, and this was a time of white minority rule. Imagine 1910 to 1994. That's close to a century, you know, of brutalization, of injustice, of oppression. And this is the legacy of, you know, white people in South Africa. Unless, I don't know, something can change in the future, but as the way things that are currently happening, I don't think that will change if they come back to a position of power in the political sense. So those people who are busy saying that apartheid was better and all of that, I don't know what they're talking about. You know, some people have been so damaged, and they tend to damage other people, and because of some ignorance among some of the young people of today who have never read anything about apartheid, who have never sat with the people who really went through, you know, those issues, not like some of the people who had their ancestors who were selling out, you know, other blacks, people who were really fighting for real freedom, you know, in South Africa. You will never find them telling you that. And this is why even today you don't find black people voting for in large numbers for the DA. The DA is struggling. It's a struggling political power in South Africa, and it's going to continue struggling. That's why even, you know, in the past election it decided to join the GNU, which was in fact formed by the ANC. Even though they claim to hate the ANC, they knew that if they want to enjoy some level of, you know, serious political power in South Africa, they didn't have any other choice but to join the GNU, because they were never going to be voted in power, no matter the propaganda that they were trying to propagate. So we need to really not take things in a simplistic way. Because you know, since 1994 there's been a lot of improvement for black people. Don't listen to people such as Yokahi. So what is the channel of hers, that lady who likes to probably she thinks that she's a new Candace Owens of South Africa. Citizen Concern. You can literally go to the page of that, is it Katle or Kagiso? You can literally go to the page of that lady, Citizen Concern, and check the level of cooning that is happening there. You know, she has this tendency of exaggerating, you know, even the smallest, you know, thing that is currently happening within the black community, and she will never say anything, you know, about the corruption that is currently happening within the white economic sectors, such as the manipulation of the rent, which is it's an ongoing case even today, where, you know, people, if people can go and check the people behind all of that which is currently happening, the companies which are behind all of that, you will find who are the people who are behind all of it. You know, we tend to have this thing where we like to think that, you know, white people are just doing all that is good. You know, it's only black people who are messing things up. We need to be careful of those propaganda. They do not conform to reality. You know, the biblical material is clear. You know, man is wicked. Man is wicked. Man is evil. You know, your skin color simply doesn't make you a good person. And the funny part is that, you know, I don't understand why will people hold white people into such high regards with the type of history that they have here in South Africa. You know, they are not better than the natives, and they are not better than the ANC. You see, they are also not better than the ANC, they are not better than the EFF, and they are not better than the other political parties. So the people should not allow themselves to be fooled. So now Donald Trump is coming here trying to present white people as if they're a victim of a black government, and, you know, you have black people who are trying to apologize because of that. No. We need to be careful. We need to be careful. When the current government is trying to address, you know, historical injustices, that is not oppression. That is not oppression, because there was never freedom under white minority government. There was never, in their entire rule in South Africa, natives, coloreds have never experienced freedom, and that's a historical fact. And facts do not care about your feelings. You know, you can be offended and feel like we are being racist towards white. We are not being racist towards white. We are just trying to make sure that destructive narratives are not put in black people's minds. in order to exalt white people as if they are these holy people that everyone needs to bow down to. No, the world doesn't operate like that. The world is an ugly place, it's dark. There are dangerous things that are currently happening. So people need to be awake. People need to be conscious. People need to be aware of their environment. People need to be aware of where they are coming from, because where you come from is going to be have a huge role in where you are and where you will be going in the near future. So let us not be fooled. Let us not be fooled. In South Africa, white people have a history, and the best thing right now for white people is for them to be humble, to be respectful, and to try and join, within the community and serve the community of South Africa, instead of trying to be arrogant and working from the white guilt and trying to hide what happened in the past or change, what happened in the past. That's dangerous, because you are perverting reality. Hopefully this video also challenges you to think carefully about some of the political, economic, religious issues that are happening in our land. Hope you have a great week. God bless you.